Everybody, or good afternoon, good morning, good day, whatever. Just a really impromptu recording. Duncan and I spotted something just now, which actually has potential to be quite big for the entire cloud gaming community. Now, I don't profess to understand fully, Duncan, exactly what this means. And to be honest with you, I've not even seen Mixer, although I'm in the Mixer room today. So perhaps you could just give our audience a brief overview of what Mixer is, what Facebook gaming is, because that's part of this story, and why this has a wider impact on potentially Stadia.
Okay, Rokk. Basically, we'll just bring us down to basics. Mixer was equivalent to Twitch or YouTube Gaming Live, where people showcase their gaming things on the platform to get people to watch them and subscribe to them, join in with their games, and a lot of them. It's basically where people go to watch gaming, or that's what it was meant to be happening in the case of Mixer. During this time when they were trying to build Mixer up, they signed on a number of massive streaming people who are out in the mainstream audience, people like Ninja and streamers called Shroud. This does not seem to have got what the result, what Microsoft wanted, so they're cutting their ties with them, and they're shutting down at the end of the month. Is there anything else you would like to know about this, or to just continue?
So basically, Mixer is a little bit like Twitch. So it's essentially where you could stream your games, playing your games, and other people could watch, and predominantly for Xbox. Although I think you could use other systems. Predominantly, it was aimed at the Xbox games player. Am I correct on that one?
Yep, that was 100% right. It was built into the Xbox dashboard. So if you went on the Xbox, you could move down and Mixer would be there. So this news is really unexpected and shocking, actually, is the best way to call it, because a lot of people, myself included, thinking that Mixer was going to be their backdoor to push xCloud onto a wider system.
And of course, xCloud is Microsoft Xbox's attempt at moving into cloud gaming. And for a while, although we'd seen these big lions approaching, so we've got Xbox xCloud, we've got Google Stadia. In some point next year, presumably we've got Amazon's offering, which is codenamed Tempo, but will probably be called Amazon Prime. And it's fair to say, I think, that we weren't 100% sure. Certainly, we couldn't see this coming, and we assumed that Microsoft would use Mixer in the same way Amazon are using Twitch and Google are using YouTube as the kind of mechanism for pushing these games. Because, of course, people may not realize this, Duncan, but watching games is almost as popular as playing games these days. And all of these game watching services have a huge audience of people that just tune in to watch other people play games. And I think that's probably, I don't know, but I'm assuming that's got something to do with the kind of social community feel, kind of feeling you're part of a group. You sort of make a virtual friend of the people that you're watching. And so I suppose when you think about that logically, Facebook is an ideal home for a similar service, because that's exactly what it is. It's a social media, a social community platform, isn't it? So you can absolutely see why having this kind of a service on Facebook makes a heap of sense. And therefore, Microsoft, I guess, have looked at this and said, do you know what? We're not making headway with our own service. Facebook, as we all know, is by far the largest social community on the planet. It makes so much more sense to align our brand with Facebook than it does to try and keep up with our own brand. Would you suggest that was probably on the money?
Yes, and over the last number of months, due to the current situation, Facebook gaming has really taken off. And while all the other social or streaming platforms have saw massive increases, Mixers has just, there's my hand there. Mixers has just stayed flat. What the bigger news out from this is they're going to be introducing xCloud. Like we've touched on that is their cloud streaming service into this, and the announcement earlier in the week was that Game Pass was going to be part of their xCloud offering. Game
Yeah.
Pass is like a subscription model where you get a lot of games for a relatively low price, and
Hmm.
Microsoft's first party games like their Halos and Gears of War, the Forza Horizons, Forza Motorsport are all in that package. So
Mm.
yeah, so this is absolutely massive. Just to put this into context for people, what this could mean is you could be watching someone playing Halo, and you might have a wee button there saying you can play Halo now, and you can just click on it. And with Facebook's reach, that is going to be massive. There is going to be other permutations of this going forward, which I think is it's for another time because there's actually
Hmm.
it's a lot more detailed. But yeah, this is massive, massive news.
So
Uh,
if you were Google Stadia tonight, Duncan, would this sit particularly comfortably with you?
if you're Google Stadia at this moment in time, you will be not scared, you would be concerned about this
Mm.
going forward because you're teaming up and two massive companies. Facebook, with as you have mentioned, have, most people either have a Facebook account or know someone who's got it. It's just massive. And then combining that with Xbox and the back catalog of games that you're going to have on the system from day one, this is pretty big. The picture you've got up there of Ninja, that
Hmm.
is, this is going to be interesting how this falls out. For streaming purposes, Ninja is the biggest streamer out there at this moment in time. Even though he's on Mixer, the figures that Microsoft have allegedly paid to get Ninja onto the service are astronomical. And we don't know how this is going to be fall out. We could now see a bidding war for Ninja going
Mm.
forward. Could Stadia get him on board? Because if Stadia go after him, that could actually open up doors for Stadia.
And that's interesting, isn't it? Because we've also seen just recently a lot of well-known Twitch streamers moving back to YouTube, which of course is Google Stadia's natural game playing home. Do you think that that YouTube now could be in danger of losing them as they go over to Facebook gaming with they're obviously two big businesses with huge pockets.
Yeah, and this is what has been happening is
Mm.
Twitch has been buying people, Mixer has been buying people, and now YouTube has been buying people. This is just going to enter into a bidding war for everybody. What we have seen recently is a number of these people have actually. Sorry, my phone is going off. I think everybody.
That's it. That's Facebook phoning you up saying, "Come on over,
Exactly.
loads of money."
Uh, what's going to happen is there's going to be lots of deals going to be getting struck now. I feel we have seen with like Doctor Disrespect, another
Yeah.
massive streamer, has signed exclusively for Twitch. I think yes, the it's you can't underplay how big this news is because this
No.
is where this is like a gateway for people to get into. So, for a Stadia perspective, this may you're going to be worried or concerned about this move.
And of course, not just Stadia, but in fact, PlayStation as well, I would argue, because the one Achilles heel in what is the predominant console is, of course, they don't seem to have a cohesive cloud gaming strategy. And yet it's obvious that Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Amazon, essentially everybody else does. Um, would this be more potentially even more concerning to them than it would be to the other players in the game cloud gaming arena?
Yeah, PlayStation is a what you don't know what they're going to do because there was a clear strategy for Microsoft that they were
Mhm.
trying to build their own streaming platform, and they were got Mixer. PlayStation at this moment in time, there's nothing out there. for the cloud gaming, they do have their PlayStation Now, and it is usable. They've actually teamed up with Microsoft to actually expand it and improve it. But we haven't seen the fruits from them, from the labour of that as yet. We may see that in the coming months when they talk about PlayStation 5 going forward. Again, this topic we could go on a lot about.
No.
I'll just leave it with this one more point about xCloud. It has been 100% confirmed now that coming next year, xCloud will be running Xbox Series X hardware. So that means they have already announced their next bump in specs. For Stadia, they haven't announced their next bump in specs, so we're waiting on that. So we may get news of that a bit earlier now, because as a reaction to this news tonight.
Sure. Of course, the aspect of all of this that still needs to be addressed is what the codec will be, and by that, folks, I mean the software that's used to compress the signal. It's one thing to be running it on high-end hardware, but the real secret sauce is how you get that signal down the pipes from the data center to the residential or domestic home. And although we know that Google has some very proprietary software that they can do that in order to create the amazing technology that they do, I think at this moment in time, we're still seeing only 720p with Microsoft. So I'm unsure as to how increasing the hardware will do anything other than enable them to play next generation games. I'm still keen to see how they're going to deliver beyond 720p, and that as yet is unknown.
Yeah, that is a brilliant point there. It's still in 720p, and as we see with Stadia, we're up to 4K, and that is a big difference jumping between the two. When the bigger the TV you have, the more noticeable it starts to become. So Stadia will be concerned. Will they be absolutely in panic mode? No, they won't be. It is just going to be maybe a wake-up call that they maybe have to start pushing some things out a little quicker now.
Brilliant. Duncan, thank you very much for this impromptu breaking news from Stadia Rocks. I know you're being requested all over the place for various guest appearances, whereas I'm not. So I'll let you go. I'll let you go, my friend. And no doubt we will be running another one of these in the very near future. Take care. Thanks for popping in and watching us, everybody. And
thanks very much.
Go and have a read. The article that we've been showing you this evening is on theverge.com, where all the details sit. So that's all from us. Rock out.